here for the party. Trust me, we just getting started. The sound, the vibe, I feel so alive. I'm only here for the party. Trust me, we just getting started.
Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel, and as you should have seen from that wee introduction sequence, this is going to be a video about the Celtic FC Women side, the Celtic Girls, and so if you're not a follower of the Celtic Women's side, this video may not be for you, and there will be further videos about the main Celtic men's team throughout the week, and there's a very interesting video about Mark Viduka up on the channel, both in a short version and a longer version, so do give that a wee look up if you're not a follower of the Celtic FC Women's side, the Celtic Girls. So this video is going to be about the Celtics' magnificent 7-1 win over Motherwell yesterday in the SWPL, a result that puts Celtic up to clear in second place, 3 points behind Glasgow City, who managed to beat Partick Thistle yesterday, whilst Hibs were beating Rangers 3-2. And so next Sunday at New Douglas Park, there will be a first v second battle with Celtic in line to go top if they can manage to win, as their goal difference is guaranteed to be better than Glasgow City's next week, as it already is better than Glasgow City's already, and so any win would obviously boost that by 1 and diminish Glasgow City's by 1 as well. So in the video, we're going to have a wee look at the league table, a wee look at the goals, a wee run through of the key incidents and players, and a wee look at the match stats as well. So I actually had the pleasure yesterday to go and watch the game live at New Douglas Park. I had a nice chat throughout the first half with one of the viewers' subscribers, and a nice wee chat at half-time with another viewer subscriber, and it was great catching up with the dedicated fans of the Girls, and I'm planning to go again next Sunday for the Glasgow City match, and planning to go to as many games live as I can throughout the rest of the season. And it was a very, very enjoyable afternoon all around, and a brilliant 7-1 win for Celtic. Celtic started with a nice balanced team. In goals, Lisa Rogers; at right back, Emma Lawton, Kelly Clark and Claire Walsh in central defence. Lisa Robertson dropping back to left back, Moma Nakau dropping back to the more defensive central midfielder role, Gallagher and Miriam McInerney in front of them. Out wide on the right, Morgan Cross; on the left, Aislinn Strycek and Saoirse Noonan as a main centre forward. And I think the formation, the tactics, the balance of the side is looking very good, and increasingly over the last few weeks, the number of good contributions from the substitutes has been improving, and also somewhere, hopefully near in the future, will be the return of the experienced players who've been out with long-term injuries, such as Chloe Craig, Emma Weston, Claire Goldie, and hopefully in the longer term, Shannon McGregor, who appears to have the most long-term lasting injury with the furthest away recovery spell. First 20 minutes or so, wee bit slow to get going. Celtic did have a number of attacks. The Motherwell goalkeeper made a couple of good saves, some good defensive work by Motherwell. Celtic eventually did take the lead in the 26th minute, Morgan Cross scoring that first goal. Nice ball through the middle by Miriam McInerney. Motherwell defender left it for the goalkeeper. Morgan Cross nipped in between them, knocked the ball past the goalkeeper. Ball rebounded off the post, and Morgan Cross was first to the rebound and knocked the ball into the net, putting Celtic 1-0 up after 26 minutes. Celtic then added to their lead in the 41st minute, this time by Saoirse Noonan. Lovely cross by Aislinn Strycek out on Celtic right. It was sort of headed and shouldered onto the bar by Emma Lawton. It rebounded to Saoirse Noonan, who from practically on the goal line nodded the ball into the net to put Celtic 2-0 up, and Celtic's lead at half-time was increased to 3 with Emma Lawton adding a goal in the 44th minute. This time, nice control by Maria McInerney, controlling the ball coming in the air. Nice turn, and then a shot left-footed from the edge of the box. The shot was parried out to her side by the Motherwell goalkeeper, and Emma Lawton was first to the rebound and smashed the ball past the goalie and put Celtic 3-0 up at half-time. At half-time, Elena Sadiku had to make one change. Ime Gallagher had taken a minor knock in the first half and was brought off at half-time as a precaution, and Hannah Luke took her place with a wee bit of a reorganisation, with Hannah Luke going to left-back, Lisa Robertson moving into the defensive central midfield role, Momo Nakau moving forward into the more advanced midfield role, and Celtic took a wee bit of time to get going in the second half, and indeed the lead was reduced to 3-1. A corner kick on Celtic's right swung into the box. There was a wee bit of a stramash and mix-up, and the ball then rebounded off Claire Walsh's leg, and it was far too close for Lisa Rogers to make any form of save, and the ball ended up in the roof of the net, and Motherwell were back to just 3-1 down. Celtic, however, did at that point seem to kickstart and get going again, and indeed went to 4-1, this time a goal for Kelly Clark. Brilliant in-swing cross by Aislinn Strychek was palmed onto the bar by the Motherwell goalkeeper. The ball then rebounded down, and the Motherwell defender knocked the ball off the line with her leg. However, Kelly Clark was first to that clearance and smashed the ball into the top part of the net from about 6 yards out, scoring her first goal of the season. Celtic added to the lead 1 minute later in the 70th minute. Some nice work by Sienna McGoldrick in midfield, who'd come on just before as a second half sub. She had a nice wee clever through ball. Morgan Cross made a brilliant pacey run to get in behind the Motherwell defence and very calmly smashed the ball past the Motherwell goalkeeper, 5-1 up. Celtic added further to their lead, making it 6-1 in the 75th minute. Probably Celtic's best goal of the day. Lovely chipped cross into the box by Claire Walsh. Was met by a very good run by Maria McInerney, who then sent a looping header over the goalkeeper for 6-1, and Celtic completed their 7-1 magnificent win. Some nice work from three of Celtic's substitutes. Dara Dawson winning the ball back in midfield, passing the ball onto Sienna McGoldrick, who then swept the ball out to the right wing. Amy Richardson playing out as a right back, then hit the byline. A beautiful ball into the box, and great run by Saoirse Noonan, who volleyed the ball in from about 6 yards into the top corner of the net. An absolutely brilliant goal as well. Almost as good, in my view, as the sixth goal. So 7-1 win for Celtic in the end. A very well-deserved win, very good performance. And as I say, puts Celtic up to second place, the better goal difference than Glasgow City, and so winning next Sunday against Glasgow City puts the girls back to the top of the table. Hibs are currently in third, Hearts in fourth, and Rangers drop down into fifth place. And it does look like there's a definite gulf in class between the top five and the bottom five in the league, and it's going to be a very tight battle, I think, for sixth place, with Motherwell and Aberdeen the most likely to get those places, but the gulf in class between Motherwell and Aberdeen and the top five is really rather large at the moment. The stats for the game again show the total domination of Celtic throughout the whole game. Possession was 70 for Celtic and 30 for Motherwell. Shots were a pretty remarkable 24 shots for Celtic, just 3 shots for Motherwell. Celtic had 12 on targets to 2 by Motherwell. Motherwell no off targets and 7 off targets for Celtic. 5 blocked shots for Celtic and 1 block shot for Motherwell. The Motherwell goalkeeper made 5 saves. Lisa Rogers just had to make 1 save. Corners 9-1 for Celtic, and pretty much shows just how dominant Celtic were on the day. And again, good performance by the Motherwell goalkeeper. She made a couple of handy saves, particularly early in the game, and some good defensive work by Motherwell for the first 20-25 minutes or so. But once Celtic got going, Motherwell kind of struggled, had a wee bit of a improvement again just after half time, which ended with them getting their goal back. But then Celtic, for the last half hour or so, were totally dominant and increased their lead to that 7-1 win. Good performances, I think, from Morgan Cross. Very adaptable performance by Lisa Robertson, playing left back, but also playing defensive midfield, playing some left-sided midfield, and I think her performance was good all round. Claire Walsh looked very, very calm and controlled in defence. Some lovely work up and down the right wing by Emma Lawton. At times she was all over the pitch, making some very, very good runs, some very good passes. Momo again, good performance in the first half as defensive midfielder, moved into more attacking, continued to be quite dominant, despite the fact that Motherwell were trying to swamp her and double team her in midfield. Some very good finishing by both Searson and Morgan Cross, and some great runs up and down the right wing in the more advanced positions by Cross, and some good work by Aislinn Strycek, who's coming into her own in the left midfield, left wing role, a role that she's not played terribly much before, having been primarily a defender in women's college football in America. Also very encouraging, some very good performances coming on as subs from Sienna McGoldrick, Hannah Luke, Amy Richardson, but lots of good performances all around, and increasingly so coming off the bench. Celtic have players who can make a difference, come on when the starting players are getting that wee bit tired. That brings then to the video. As I say, it was great catching up with a couple of the viewer subscribers. Nice chats regarding lots of things around Celtic and the Celtic women's side and the Celtic men's club. And lots of theories shared regarding how best for the women's team to keep progressing, and one or two wee thoughts of how things went wrong in the 24-25 season, where Celtic ended up in fourth place, having been at one point top equal back in February. As always, do feel free, if you're new to the channel, to click that subscribe button. Very, very few Celtic channels on YouTube cover the Celtic women's side. There is a very good Celtic FC unique angle version of the 7 Celtic goals, so do have a look at that up. Also interviews for Elena Sidikou and Emma Lawton post-match, also available through the Celtic FC site. That brings the video to the end, and so until the next video, goodbye and hail hail.